We're live. Hello. Hello, everybody. I'm Amanda Call. I'm going to work on this comic page. So this is a page from I Am the First, issue 4, page 8. We've worked on this for 2 sessions already. I'm going to try to finish the pencils this evening, hopefully. We have this very complicated panel that we managed to finish, and we started on this next one. I'm hoping that since there's not much left on this one and the remaining panels are not as complex, that we can get this at least mostly done this evening so we can move on to inks next week. Hey, Spud. Thanks. Thanks so much for joining me. All right, so my pencil is already sharpened. We're going to try to finish what we have started here. We've got a little bit of detail left to do on his hand, holding the radio. Clean some of my underdrawing here since this is kind of a scribbly mess. Hey, Hungry, and Someone Sane, thanks so much for joining me. I hope everyone has had a good week. My week has been kind of a disaster. Everybody in my house has been sick. I've managed to not be sick so far, but like everyone else has been taking turns getting sick, and then like as soon as one of them starts feeling better, then another one will get sick, and they just like, and then one that was fine will get sick again, and it's just like, oh my gosh, can everybody stop? Everyone stop. So it's been kind of a mess here. I'm pretty tired as the only like not sick person in the house. Hey, Story Comic says they're here. Hello. Thank you so much for joining me. Just trying to finish the bits of the interior of the cruiser you can see here. Which does not need to be super complex because it's really not the focus of what's going on here, but I do want it to actually look like the inside of a car and not something completely made up and incorrect. Try to keep with our perspective grid that we have in here, letting us know how everything should be aligned. Which, even though it's a small space, especially with like a kind of like downward looking angle, it's very helpful to have so that stuff doesn't get all wobbly and wonky. Let's see, and we've got some of these little like lines that break up the seats in the cars more. All right, in the window into the back, it's all reinforced. What is going on with that scribbly line? Let's fix that. I appreciate your perspective. Story Comic coming in with the dad jokes. All right, clean up some of this scribble scrabble before I put in the wire that goes behind there. Trying to make sure those just stay like more or less parallel. Don't get all wonky and out of line with each other, which is kind of hard to do when you're freehanding it. Okay, that panel is now done. Hooray, we can move on to the next panel. Oh no, I have to draw a car. I have regrets. Okay, I do have an image of the type of car that county sheriffs tend to use in Maine. I forget what it's called. It's like a Ford Enforcer or something, like very on the nose like that. Because like nobody uses like regular like cruisers anymore, like those sedan type cruisers. That's not a thing. Everything is an SUV these days. I'm gonna do some grass over here and a curb wherever this is. I'm gonna do all the things other than the car first, because I'm avoiding drawing the car because it's not my favorite. I'm gonna have a no U-turn sign back here where he's making a U-turn because that amuses me. One of these like crumbly concrete medians where people have definitely hit these a few times. I think this square was supposed to be like the base of like a street light. I think that's what I was thinking there. But again, the corners of these things are always like dinged all up because everybody's constantly like clipping them when they go by. And even if that's just like the snow plow, like curbs always look dreadful. He's got a bunch of cracks and stuff in him. All right. We are also going to put the little like road lines here. All right, I guess I have to draw this car. I don't want to. Yeah, that's too close. Do this like road line over here. Okay, that'll work. All right, I guess I'll work on the car. Let me bring my perspective over to, or my reference image over to this window so I can, or this monitor so I can look at it a little easier while I draw. All right. So I drew the basic shape when we were roughing everything in. I'm going to still make a few refinements to that because it's still not like 100% the way I want it. The top of this is actually pretty short and it's got a really long like windshield. That's looking more like it. All right, we need the light bar on top. That'll do a lot to make it look like an actual law enforcement vehicle. And those will be going off. He's going to be putting on his lights as he's spinning around here. There's a little like nubbin back here, some kind of antenna. And the tops of car roofs, especially like boxy cars like this, are always ridged because if the piece of metal that the roof is made out of doesn't have some kind of ridges in it, it's actually really weak and can get dented a lot more easily. Whereas if it's got these ridges in it, it helps to provide some structural integrity. So you don't usually like see the tops of boxy cars like vans or SUVs, but they do pretty much always have those ridges that run down them to help them maintain their shape. All right, we've got some rear view mirrors off the sides here. Like slanty back window. And it's got a stripe that goes all the way down the side. It's like, look at me, I'm a police car. Wee-oo, wee-oo. They're honestly pretty funny shaped. I'm not gonna lie. Got a kind of funny shape to them. I feel like that's not the right funny shape though. Let's just come down more. And that bumper comes out a little bit. That's a little better. All right, and over here we have the big old sheriff. Not really going to be able to read it there. Just want to indicate that there's something going on back there. Okay. Door handles. Nose is looking kind of pinched. That's a little better. There we go. Yeah, that front end was looking a little squashy, but that's much better. Okay, so then we've got this little like dip down part here. We've got the headlights. Vehicles have pretty complex shapes, so it's okay if you don't get like every little detail. You just want to make sure that the like overall proportions are good so that it's still like, oh, I can tell what type of vehicle that is. So like this looked pretty silly until just a minute ago because I had the proportions on the front end of it were not quite right. Someone saying says, sorry, I had to lurk for a bit. What did I miss? Just me struggling to draw a car. That's what you missed. No, I think it's in a lot better shape now. I just had to reshape the front end a little bit. The proportions were not quite right and it was looking a little goofy. But it's looking a lot better now. All right, that's looking a lot more like a police car. Some of these are also going to be like lit up because wee lights and sirens. All right, there's a lot of scribbles going on here. Erase the scribbles. Try to make this a little bit more of a clear, yes, he totally did a 180 type maneuver. Whee! All right, that's looking much better. Now we have a nice little panel of the cruiser bipping around, and there's a bunch of text that's going to go there, a bunch of speech bubbles that's going to go there. So this may seem like a kind of open panel, but we're gonna have a couple of different things of text explaining what he's responding to, and then of course also the sound effects of sirens. So that's all stuff that will fill up this space, and I don't want to draw a bunch of details and then have them be covered by all of that. Someone saying says vehicles can be difficult. I've made a couple low poly models in SketchUp to use as reference. Yeah, that's a really good idea too, and it's helpful too with something really low poly. Is that if you can get a good sense of proportion from that, then you'll have a better understanding of like what makes that car look correct anyway. Like you'll have a more thorough understanding of like what the shape of that car needs to be that you can then refine when you're drawing it later. Because that's, like I was saying, the thing that's the most important is trying to get the basic shape of the car right. Because all the little details and everything, that's not really what sells it as like, oh yeah, that's that type of car. What sells it as that type of car is the overall basic shape and proportion. And that kind of like really simple modeling really helps with figuring that out. Okay, we have 2 panels left. Let's see how far we can get. I had to pull up my reference of what I want this character to look like. Let's open that in a new tab. Why is it tiny? I don't want it tiny. Ugh. Killing me. Killing me, Google Images. I would like you to cooperate. That would be super. No, that's as good as it's going to get? Okay, fine. Be that way. Be that way. All right, so we have this very rough skeleton of this character. I'm going to start putting in a little bit more detail here for his face. We're looking up at him a little bit again, so we need like the underside of his nose, a little bit of like the underside of his brow. I'm just trying to get like the basic placement of his features right now. We'll clean that up a little bit more in a bit. That is not the line your mouth makes, sir. Hairline, basic hair shape. We can start filling in the rest of his body some. Start getting some actual muscles on this mannequin here. Have to refine that a little bit. So he's holding his phone. If you're holding your phone and you just want to try to like use your thumb on it, then you're just kind of like, it's like this situation. So the back of your hand is going to look like that, kind of. It's kind of what I'm looking at on myself over here, of like, if I'm trying to dial my phone one-handed, what are my fingers doing on the back side of that? And like, where is everything being held? Okay, so that's the basic. Get the bottom of the phone there. All right, that's the basic gesture we've got going on with the hand. This other arm where he's steering. We've got the seat belt up here. It's coming across. And what's in the middle here? We've got the cup holder is right here by his hip. So I'm just going to quickly put in a little skeleton of this stuff. Cup holder, this weird panel situation. And here's the handheld. And we've got this little, there's another gap, and then there's this panel of doodads. Doodad panel. Okay. We have a good start here. That's much more refined, and now there's a lot more that we can do. Hey, tape, why are you not working? I need to sharpen my pencil. Okay, actually, that last thing we worked on is what I'm going to do first because it is closest to the picture plane. It is what is closest to the viewer, and therefore it makes sense to get that drawn first so that I don't spend a lot of time drawing details on stuff that's behind it that you wouldn't be able to see anyway because the stuff in front is blocking it. So that is what we're going to do. All right, there's the radio. Clean that up a little bit. Coffee cup in the cup holder. Ew, ooh, quite the little glob of eraser crumbs we got going there. And this panel that's got like a bunch of like rivets. You can tell it's serious business because there's rivets. It's supposed to be like a big fat switch. Let's make that a little bit bigger. There we go. All right. So there's that panel. I think over here we should have the edge of our little tray for his laptop. So we're just going to put a little bit of that here. All right. There's that. Now we can do it's Space Viking Productions saying frackin' rivets. I love drawing details like that. I expected to come on here and just hear you screaming while drawing. I mean, I might do some screaming. Screaming could still happen. I've been trying to avoid the subjects that have been making me want to scream lately because they're just exhausting, and I have more important things to spend my energy on than constantly screaming. Oy, oy, oy. I feel like that's like all I've dealt with online lately is things that make me want to scream. The internet is good for that. That is a weird looking finger. Let's try that again. That is better. All right. What is happening with your arm, sir? There we go. All right, and he's going to have one of those, like, really chunky phone. I keep mine internal. It's an eco-friendly scream. Hashtag scream things. Yes, exactly. He's going to have one of those, like, really beefy phone cases, like one of the really for serious otter boxes. It's just like got the great big honking corners on it. All right. So there's his cell phone. Let's go back up to his face. Try to get his face to look right. Okay, let's try not to bang our head into the camera. That would be good. Can you make my face look right? I don't know, maybe. I can certainly give it my best try. I think his eyebrow's a little bit too low there, especially for this angle. My face is okay, but my gut could use some work. Oh. Hashtag razor accidents. Oh no. That doesn't sound good, Space Viking. I hope you're okay. Okay, what is happening with your face, sir? What is happening with your face? It's got a pretty, like, so both Roxy and her dad have like a pretty a face shape with like really round cheeks. So it's always trying to like, I'm always trying to remember to like give them that nice round lower cheek. Especially when you're doing like a 3/4 like this, like rather than having the below the cheekbone have like really cut in sharp, to try to like let it kind of fill out a little bit more. Luckily, it's the side that grows faster. Just shaved off a corner of my mustache a bit too much. Oh no. Right, that his hairline is like too low there. Hair. Let's give him some hair. Give him some shape to his head. And his beard. All right, that's looking much better now. Okay, so now we can start getting some of his uniform in there. And we've got, I gotta always remember all these little doodads. We've got patches and gear and all of this stuff. Various insignia and things. Space Viking says, first the fingers and now the beard. Can't the man catch a break? I gotta try to get him to look like an actual person. All right, pants, various stuff and things. I gotta pull back up a thing of the gear that sheriffs have on their belts. I think I have a reference image of that saved. I just need to look for it because, of course, I didn't think to pull that up ahead of time. That would be too smart. We're gonna roughen. That's where his badge should be. So this area. Right. Pockets. All right, let me see if I have that reference image because I know there's supposed to be like stuff over here. I'm pretty sure that's where his gun is supposed to be. Where is my reference image? Do I have that saved? No, of course I don't. Why would I? That would be too smart. Yeah. I don't know how to spell sheriff. Fine. Oh, there's a good one of a guy with all his like stuff on his belt. Man, they got a lot of stuff on their belt. Yeah, that's the side that the gun is on. That's what I thought. But also, I do not have a very good look at it. How's that? Is that a better image? That's better. Okay. This is all just going to be kind of blacked out over here. Various bits and bobs here. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. All right. His other arm is up because its hand is on the wheel. How are we doing on time? Oh, not bad. Not bad. Okay. What do we need for... Jeremy's gonna hate me. There's like this meshes in almost every panel. So Jeremy usually does the flats for me. So anytime that there's something like, especially when there's chain link fencing is the thing that set him off. And wire mesh, chain link fencing, essentially the same thing. I'm sure he's gonna totally appreciate that. He's not gonna appreciate that at all. He's gonna be very mad at me. So Jeremy is the writer of I Am the First, but because it's just the two of us on the team, in order to help expedite coloring, Jeremy will often work on the flats for me. So that's basically just like filling in flat colors in the different space so that then when I go to actually like render in all the different shadows and like choose the correct colors and everything, it's easy for me to just grab everything that I need without having to like go in and figure out individual areas of color. It's like the first step in coloring. And so sometimes he helps me with that, but that means that if you have to do something very fiddly, like little little wire mesh or chain link fence or anything, it's not a fun job, and he gets very mad at me when I do this to him. Sorry, Jeremy. He has possibly threatened me before because of chain link fencing. Come on, let's get that nice kind of serious face going. Will that work? Is that good? I think that'll work. We'll use that face. Okay, so same thing. I'm gonna try to figure out where all this stuff... No! No! Bots! God, I swear. Banhammer. Stop it. Banhammer. Oh my god, they're coming just as fast as I'm banning them. Get out of here. No, Girls 18 site. Oh, robots, the bane of my existence. All right, I banned them. Hopefully they stay away. Ugh, gross. All right, where was I? Hand, holding a phone. Holding a phone up to your face. If you're holding a phone up to your face, how are you holding it? You're kind of supporting it with the thumb right here, like with the meat of your thumb, and stabilizing it with your fingertips. So on the back side, that's going to look like this, kind of. So I need to change that pose a little bit. It's not exactly ideal. Where'd my eraser go? All right. The bots are here too. Twitch has that issue as well. If you want a good laugh, look up a person holding phone stock. So much of it is just not how people use them. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure that's kind of the problem is when you go to do something like that, I always find I just have to use myself as a reference because it's like, what is this reference image? Like, what? No one acts like this. Like, that's not how humans hold things. What is happening here? Oh, no, wait. Your pinky's on top. Dang it. Of course, then I'm like trying to do this while holding it myself, and I'm, also failing to human. Good job. That's looking more like it. So I awkwardly hold my phone up while I try to do this. All right, we'll make that make more sense in a minute. Oh, that satisfying pencil scratch. Yes, I love traditional media. I love being able to make the satisfying pencil scratch noises. All right, let's get Darnell's face here. Sheriff Jones. Try to get this face shape. All right. And we've got the steering wheel up here. What time is it? It is 8:51. Oh no. Okay. So if you're I'm trying to like hold my arm out in front of me. How are we driving with like this? Thumb, fingers. We're gonna have to refine that a little bit. That's looking kind of goofy. Okay. That's okay. Well, we're in the last 10 minutes, so I'm going to talk to you about all of the YouTube things. I will remind you. Oh, it says first. Ignore that last post there. Nearly dropped my iPad, and somehow that happened. Oh, no. And Space Viking says that they miss it, but all of their commissions lately have been digital. Yeah. You do what you got to do. So anyway, since we're in the last 10 minutes, while I try to make this arm look like something that belongs to a human, I will remind you, I'm Amanda Call. I am working on a comic page from I Am the First, which is written by my friend Jeremy Flagg and drawn by me. It is a coming-of-age superhero story about dealing with life as a gay teenager in a small rural town, and then also realizing, oh no, I have superpowers. The first 3 issues are available at bravenewcomics.com. And once all of them are done, we're going to release it as a graphic novel. There are 5 issues overall, so we are more than halfway there. We've only got 2 issues left to do. I'm working on issue 4 right now, so we're making pretty good time. Doesn't always feel that way sometimes. We're not making them as fast as we would like, but that's because making comics is hard work. Takes a long time, as it turns out. If you like watching me draw comics or other things on stream, if you like to just watch me create stuff on stream, then you should definitely subscribe to this YouTube channel. I do these streams pretty much every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. But if you like the video and subscribe and all that fun stuff, then you'll actually get notified when I do them, in case for some reason I don't go live at the usual time or you forget or whatever else. It's a good way to be reminded of what's going on. And I've been alternating lately on the stream between I Am the First pages and Age of Night pages. Age of Night is my regular webcomic, fantasy webcomic project. You can read that for free at ageofnight.com. That's AGEOFNIGHT.com. And if you just want to help support me make comics, you can also support my Patreon, which is patreon.com/ageofnight, spelled the same way as the comic. Patrons always get their comic pages a week early, and they get lots of little like behind the scenes sneak peeks of I Am the First as it's coming out too. So lots of fun perks for supporting me there, because I super appreciate it. All right, the honkin' phone case again. So big old rubber corners here. What else? Oh yeah, if you want to follow me on various social medias, you can find me usually as either Age of Night, like my comic, or Amanda Call Art, one or the other. So I'm on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. There's a Facebook page for Age of Night. I have a Ko-Fi if you're interested in just making like a one-off donation, or if you want to buy stuff from my shop. I've got a little shop set up on Ko-Fi, so that's cool too. All right, honkin' phone case achieved. Let's see. Okay, I don't quite have enough time to finish this panel. We're just about done. I may have to do some reference image situation because I'm still not satisfied with this arm. It looks very goofy. The foreshortening is not quite gelling for me here, so we're gonna try to figure that out a little later. But that is gonna do it for this week's stream. We didn't quite finish pencils, but we did finish. We finished off this panel and only had a little bit of work left. We did 2 complete panels and we got a very solid start on this panel. So I'm going to finish this panel off stream so that next week we can just start in on inks on this page. So thanks everybody for coming and hanging out with me this evening. I super appreciate it. I will see you next time. Bye.